When you pray to God, you are presenting a case to a judge. And what causes many cases to be rejected in court? We know cases that we have had that, there was no sufficient evidence, to press charges, or, the case was dropped for lack of evidence. Or there was such overwhelming evidence. Or nowadays we're actually having cases that are being, people who have been on death row for 19 years being vindicated by DNA evidence. The key word about this scripture, Hebrews 11 verse 1, is the evidence. When you present a case to a judge, you need evidence. If you don't have evidence, you are wasting your time. So you and I, when we go before God in prayer, bear it in mind. Don't go there without evidence. Don't go there. That's why when we hear these stories about mighty men of God, when you read the entire chapter of Hebrews 11, and you hear mighty men of faith who did this and did that, and who were counted righteous because they believed God, which they had faith. And that faith was enough evidence for God to do what he was supposed to do. For the judge to sway the case in your favor, he needs evidence. When you don't have evidence, you don't have a case. The law is the law. The law says there must be evidence. One time I called the police because somebody hit my tail lamp. And I called the police, and the police came. And I told them that, there's this neighbor who does this, and I heard the noise, but I just didn't know it was my car that was hit. And the police officer said, well, we're going to have to address it as a hit and run. We cannot charge him because he has done backups in the night at some point, and then you say he's the one who hit your car, because we don't have the evidence to say he's the one who did it. And even though as sure as the sun would rise the next morning, I know he's the one who hit my car, because after that he stopped. He stopped doing those fast backups, So, but I didn't have evidence. I didn't have any proof to say, well, he is him because here it is, or here he is doing it. They say we cannot charge him because you were not present when your car was hit and there was no witness. So we cannot charge him. So when we don't have evidence, even when we go to court about the enemy, what he is doing against us, we can't press charges because we don't have evidence. But when we go to God with the evidence that, I have faith, you will get me out of this. The evidence is what wins the case.